Apple is just MDK'd, murder, death, killed the HomePod. Not the new Mini, but the OG, the Biggie. And I'm gonna tell you why they did it and why I also think it's imperative that they bring it back in a newer, better, next generation final form. Sponsored by Brilliant. Only a small percentage of you watching right now are actually subscribed to the channel. So do me a solid, hit that button and bell so we can build the biggest and best community in tech together. A lot of people think that the original HomePod was a response to the Amazon Echo, and that Apple was too late to market with a speaker that wasn't smart enough and was just way too expensive. But Apple actually started making the HomePod long before the Amazon Echo was even a thing. They started making it, I think, 4 or 5 years before they even announced it. And the goal was prototypically Apple. They wanted to create a speaker for people who enjoyed audio but didn't have audio in a specific room that you could just drop into place, any place in that room, and it would sound great no matter where you put it or no matter where you were standing in that room. And so they turned to computational audio. In other words, trying to get the bits to make the atoms do more than they have any right to do all on their own. And with that, I think they actually succeeded. But the problem was, and this is also prototypically Apple, when they make these big swings, when they make these big bets, every once in a while, they swing and miss or they bet wrong. Apple ended up bringing an expensive speaker to a commodity smart speaker space because it ends up being not about price so much as value. Apple can charge more when the perception of the value is similarly more. And they had success in that way with the AirPods, despite people maybe taking a bit of an exception to the initial price, including the initial price of the AirPods Pro. But Apple was able to deliver significant enough value that they went on to not only be popular, but to become a meme, where the HomePods decidedly did not. And I think the other issue there is undeniably Siri, where Google Assistant and Amazon's Alexa service have just gotten not only better and better, but more and more useful over time. Siri has increased the amount of knowledge that it can provide, but there still seems to be an incredible inconsistency where 1 out of every 10 or 2 out of every 10 times I ask for something that I just asked for mere minutes ago, it'll suddenly not be able to do it or not be able to do it on the device that I'm asking for, or just give a completely cockamamie answer. And again, I'm someone who wants a Siri OS, someone who wants an abstracted layer of machine learning and artificial intelligence between me, my iCloud account, and all of the Apple devices that I have. I'm someone who's incredibly bullish on the future of Siri, but just every year we don't get that complete refresh or complete relaunch of Siri or some other Apple voice assistant service. Just my hope gets a little harder to hold on to every time. And then instead of refreshing the original HomePod, Apple brings out the HomePod Mini, which delivers almost all of that value at a much, much lower, much more affordable, even close to commodity price. Sure, it doesn't have the bass, it doesn't have the room-filling effect of the original HomePod, and it can't do the same sort of spatial audio, Dolby Atmos surround sound for Apple TV. It can only do stereo when you pair 2 of them together, but it is so much less expensive, and the sound is almost as good that the price makes a huge difference. And now people are willing to pay for it and are willing to put up with Siri and are making it a much more successful product. And so you can see why Apple would discontinue the original HomePod and put that effort into the HomePod Mini instead. Except I'm left to wonder if Apple was or is working on a 2nd generation HomePod of a similar size, a similar capability, something that has been rumored in the past. They wouldn't leave the original HomePod on the market until that product was ready to take its place. That is typically what Apple does. They only discontinue products when they want to get out of the market for that product. Famously, the Airport Express and Airport Extreme routers, which I still miss terribly. So now, end of line, Tron style. End of line. You can still grab one while supplies last, but if you do, just think about how much longer they might be supported as Apple's streaming services change, as their APIs, their frameworks change, and as technologies like AirPlay move into subsequent generations, subsequent versions. There's no telling how much longer Apple will support it at all. And if they had included things like Line In or things like Bluetooth, that lifespan wouldn't have been in question. So my hope and dream here is that Apple will still work on a next generation HomePod that is bigger, than the HomePod mini, that can deliver that big bass, that can deliver that room-filling sound, that can deliver that Dolby Atmos spatial audio sound for things like the Apple TV, and would also have a U1 chip, a spatial positioning ultra wideband chip that would allow it to work not just similarly to the HomePod mini where you can bring your phone close to transfer audio, but also work in concert with other HomePods. So you wouldn't have to just walk in and drop one speaker to fill the room or make a pair, but you could put any combination of HomePods anywhere. And because they'd know precisely where they're located, especially with an upgraded U1 chip Apple TV, they would know where your entire system was located and could instantly configure and provide real 3D sound stages for not just, movies and TV shows, although yes, please, movies and TV shows, but also for full soundtracks, orchestrations, just music in general. That would be a phenomenal experience. I'm not even making this into fanfic where I say this could be part of a mesh router system where Apple TVs and HomePods could be part of the nodes that make the Wi-Fi just abundantly available everywhere, or start using the U1 chips in your phones or Apple Watch to move with you around the house and take the music from where you started it to wherever you are around the house, just utterly transparently without you having to do anything. There is so much value that could be provided with these devices if Apple sees a go-to-market or any market for them going forward. They just need to fix the pricing, or rather the value that's being delivered for the pricing of larger HomePods. And also, yes, Siri. And if you want to help fix Siri, if you're willing to get out and help push, then check out Brilliant and everything they have on getting started with algorithms. And if machine learning isn't your favorite type of learning, then check out the interactive courses on math, science, and computer science, logic and deduction, physics, quantum mechanics, game theory, cryptocurrency, and so much more, all with instant feedback that coaches you bit by bit so you can rapidly improve and learn fundamental concepts, literally before you even realize it. Brilliant is a website and an app built on learning while doing and solving real challenges in real time, with no memorizing long, messy formulas or fact sheets, no tests or grades. Just go to brilliant.org/ReneeRitchie or click on the link in the description. Pick a course and get started now, today. And clicking on that link really helps out the channel. Hit the playlist above for more on all of Apple's audio products, including the HomePod mini and maybe AirPods 3, which could land literally at any time. Just hit that playlist, and I'll see you in the next video.